Okay, so we're going to do the Google Distance Matrix API. I wrote the code in Jupyter. So we're going to load open a Jupyter. It's going to pop open a terminal within your browser. And we're going to go towards, or we're going to open that file, that OPRD, because that one's already written. And for the purposes that you're talking about, that's not what I want. For the purposes that you're talking about, it should basically be what you want. Okay, so going down to, I have this OPRD checkpoint. Essentially, hopefully you can see this. Yeah, okay. What it's going to do is it's going to import Pandas. Hopefully that's already loaded. It's going to import Google Maps. If you do not, and it gives an error, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to copy this, especially because you're in a Microsoft. But you'll want to go back to this screen and go to environments and possibly base root. That's fine. That should work. And essentially, you're going to open up base root terminal and write pip install Google Maps. And that should download if the package isn't already downloaded with your new Anaconda navigator. And so it'll load, and there we are, successfully installed Google Maps. Okay, back to this guy. So here we have, right here is what you're going to change, is you're going to change the file that you have your origins in. Let me show you what this file looks like. This particular one we're going to be using. Here it is. Okay. Not this guy. Don't save. Okay. That's not the one I want. There it is. Okay. This is the one I want. So if we zoom in, essentially what you have is you have a zip code that's going to be your ID. You have your Latin long. You don't necessarily need these two rows. I basically have these rows separated because I created this column just for simplicity, because I was just tweaking a code somebody else had already made. And essentially the code that they had written was that they had the coordinates combined into one cell. So we have our lat first and then our long, delimited by a comma within one single column. And yeah, that's how the file needs to look like. And you're going to then, you'll have 2,000 observations, and I'm going to only run about 18 to one particular location, and then you would run it again for your second location. Okay, so let's clean out of that. Don't save. So essentially, you would take this guy, you'd, copy paste the pathway, and you change this pathway to grab that file. It's going to write it as DF. That's going to be what Python's going to call it. Then you're going to need to change this key right here to your key for your account that you use. You're going to have, this is just code to call it. And then here's the origin. So change these origins to the one location that you want to look for your 2,000 observations for one of them. And then you'll run this same code again for the second one, and just change that information. So here's the destination. The coordinates is grabbing that row with all of the information on the side, and then it's creating empty boxes for distance in seconds, and then it's going to run for Google Distance Matrix. And right here is where you can change whether or not you want to do driving or not, or walking. I think they have other various different options in the Google Distance Matrix code. And then it'll, print your results, and you'll change the do these values or whatever. So I'm pretty sure it's going to spit out distance in meters and seconds for this particular code, and then you can change it once you're there. But I always verify by using the same Latin long and the origin to make sure that the metrics are the same. I just verify it for, one or two, just to make sure that that it's grabbing meters, but that's, as I recall, this is still accurate. Okay, so then we have, it's going to write it as a CSV, Latin long. Now, okay, I'm pretty sure, because I've already done this, it's going to run and it's going to spoof it out or whatever. Okay. It's taking a little while. Okay, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to pause. Come on. Ah, there it goes. Okay. Here it is. There are the 18 observations. Now we can look for the file that it created. It's going to take your 2,000 observations a little bit longer than that, for sure, to pop out that information. Okay, but here is the document. When I open it up in Excel, it's in this funky format. So, best to maybe do that get data text. I don't know if it works it out for yours. This one for me, it didn't. So get it from data text, put in the information. Looks like it did a semicolon. Yep. Finish. Okay, and there we have it, to that one destination. Here's my 18 observations. This is going to take 2,000 observations. Going to take like a little bit. And we have it in meters. I would verify to make sure that the original origin I'm using is in meters. And these negative ones are going to be the zeros. So how I fixed that with OPRD is I just collected all of the zeros or all the negatives. And then went back to those counties and put the coordinates closer to an actual road, wherever the nearest road was, so that it could help identify and keep those zip codes or whatever, those observations within the data set. And I think that's it. You might run into a couple more errors if it says that there's no packages, like NumPy or something like that is often one that I run into, or Pandas. I would just go to those terminals like I had before, and then uninstall, or pip uninstall the name, pip reinstall, or sorry, pip install and then the name of it, and just kind of do that, or just take the error and throw it in to Google, because it typically will get you the Stack Overflow or even ChatGPT. I guess this is where I think I should probably utilize ChatGPT a little bit more, as it might be able to help with the answer. But hopefully that helps. And I did it under 8 minutes. That's amazing. Okay, let me know if you need anything else.